A pregnant woman's mysterious death in an elevator. Why is the victim's mother receiving calls from beyond the grave? Don't miss it. Psychics will uncover the truth behind this fatal murder. This is Psychic Investigation, a project featuring real and shocking stories. Here, people who call themselves clairvoyants investigate complex, high-profile cases and unexplained paranormal phenomena. Yana was the most radiant bride in their entire university class. Dmitro adored her, carrying her in his arms, a romance envied by all her friends. Their loved ones celebrated their wedding, wishing them years of happiness. Their parents dreamed of grandchildren. No one could have imagined that in just 1 year, they would all reunite again, this time for a funeral.
I just couldn't believe it.
The horrifying incident made headlines across all media. The sheer senselessness of the tragedy left people in shock. Elevator kills pregnant woman. A horrifying tragedy in a residential building in Zaporizhia. A pregnant woman was trapped and crushed between floors. The bride's mother, Olha Kravets, is searching for just one answer. Why did her beloved daughter Yana have to die such a sudden and horrific death?
The autopsy determined that the cause of death was injuries incompatible with life.
Yana was 5 months pregnant. She went out to buy some fruit and was on her way home. In broad daylight, she and her unborn child were crushed by an elevator.
She approached the elevator, pressed the call button, and waited. When the elevator arrived, the doors opened. She stepped inside. At that moment, the doors began to close, trapping Yana's body. Simultaneously, the cabin started moving upward.
It trapped her on the left side.
As the elevator moved up, she was pinned between the cabin and the shaft wall. She suffered a traumatic brain injury, multiple fractured ribs, a broken pelvis, and shattered limbs.
The doctor said death was instantaneous.
I spoke with her on the phone the day she died. She told me she had just had an ultrasound. It was a boy. She could already feel him moving.
Her little boy is here with her. He was already so big. They told me at the morgue he fit in the palm of a hand, like a tiny doll.
Her loved ones refused to believe such a horrific death was an accident. Moreover, after Yana's passing, strange things started happening.
The police conducted multiple inspections of the elevator, but they didn't have a camera, so we took photos ourselves. When I was going through them, I saw one frame, something strange, almost like a silhouette.
Her older brother couldn't believe his eyes when he saw the photos.
You can clearly see the outline of a face, and well, we didn't capture anything like that.
To her loved ones, it seemed like Yana's spirit had appeared.
You can distinctly make out the shape of a head, the forehead, the eyes.
And the following night, something truly paranormal happened.
In the middle of the night, the phone rings. Not an alarm, not a ringtone, an actual incoming call. Someone is calling me. I pick up. No one's there. No number either. It just says unknown.
And it happened every night. At first, it seemed like someone's cruel prank, but each time the phone rang, she felt something, or someone, sitting down on her bed.
I can almost hear her breathing. I feel like she's right next to me.
The mother is convinced her daughter is trying to send a message from the other side about her tragic death.
About 2 weeks before she died, we were having tea. She asked me, "Mom, why is my lifeline so short?" I told her, "Yana, don't pay attention to that."
Sadly, nothing can be changed now, but the mother refuses to believe that her daughter's death was just a coincidence.
I just want to know why Yana. Why did she step into that elevator at that exact moment?
The investigation into this horrific tragedy is led by experts from our project, clairvoyants Sofia Lytvynova and Zhanna Shulakova.
A man is approaching me, a man I love deeply. He's showing me that this death is because of me. It's retribution.
I sense the suffering of a young man here. Bitterness, pain, torment.
It seems the clairvoyants have felt the energy of Dmytro, the deceased woman's husband. He is struggling with the tragedy so much that he still barely communicates with anyone.
He's withdrawn into himself. I tell him, Dmytro, you need to live on. You need to live for both of you. He says, I'm not ready for a serious relationship. Hello, my name is Olha. I turned to you for help to understand why my daughter died.
The first name that came to me was Anna.
Anna is the baptized name of Yana.
I had the feeling that I was seeing this square through different eyes. It was as if I was sitting on a bench, and a man I loved dearly was walking towards me.
Dmytro. They met right here, near the lover's clock.
What troubles me is the strong bond that still holds him. He doesn't allow himself to live. He shuts himself off from the world.
He made her a promise that he wouldn't be with anyone else. Yana's spirit worries about her husband. She doesn't want Dmytro to suffer. She says he is free and must move on.
It's rare to find such deep, powerful feelings between people these days. Such love. And I felt that the first person Yana's spirit told about her death was her husband.
Dmytro said, right before you called me, a black cat jumped on me. That was the exact time when Yana had already died.
I keep seeing something with wings, flapping like a rag, a window. It got stuck there, struggling. I don't know what it means.
A bat flew into our window. It came in through the vent and got trapped between the window panes. It kept scratching with its claws. We spent about an hour and a half trying to get it out.
When a bird or a bat flies into a home, it's a harbinger of death. In this family's case, the creature got trapped between the window panes, just like Yana was trapped in the elevator.
Mysterious photos taken in the elevator after Yana's death, strange phone calls to her mother, and other worldly presence in the apartment, and inexplicable signs surrounding the young woman's tragic passing. What does it all mean?
It felt like someone had been watching Yana. I sensed a gaze on her just before her death, a sinister, chilling gaze, the gaze of someone who wanted to take her life.
When I tuned into the girl's energy, I felt that death had been following her every step.
Death was always close to her. Once near our house, we almost got hit by a car. Luckily, the driver saw us just in time and braked. One of her friends took her for a boat ride. Sometime later, he died. Another gave her a ride on his motorcycle. He also died not long after.
Yana had some kind of secret that she took with her, and it was connected to her death. She is trying to reveal it to her loved ones, but they don't understand her.
One day, on the 9th day after Yana's death, I was in the elevator with her godmother. And the moment I remembered that it was the anniversary of her passing, the elevator stopped. We couldn't reach the dispatcher or anyone for a long time. We were terrified and...
What exactly is Yana trying to communicate from the other side? Will her mother learn the secret of her death today?
I have a feeling she had a panic-stricken fear.
She was afraid of elevators. She feared enclosed spaces.
She was afraid of all elevators.
She took the stairs more often.
Even while pregnant, Yana would walk up to the 4th floor, where her family lived. But why, on that terrible day, did the girl who feared elevators step into one?
We need to see the place where she died.
The psychics head to the building where Olha lives. That's where she found her pregnant daughter dead.
She went in here, But she never came out. Yes. Oh, Mother.
She was pulled from the first floor to the second, and Dimitro and I were the first to find her.
Her mother replays that dreadful day over and over in her mind. The day she lost her daughter. Everything was as usual. Nothing foretold disaster. That morning, Olha and her son-in-law left for work. Yana stayed home alone. Throughout the day, her mother called several times to check on her. But around noon, no one picked up.
Around 12:10, the phone went unanswered. As if some force wouldn't let me call. As if it blocked me from reaching her.
Pain. So much pain. Oh, no. No one could have saved her.
They say there was a scream. A scream and then silence. But none of the neighbors came until we arrived and found her.
Empty entrance. The phone is ringing. In the silence, the phone is ringing.
Dimitro and I kept calling. They say the phone was ringing non-stop.
Yana's mother and husband kept calling again and again, but it was in vain. A sixth sense told the mother she needed to rush home immediately. Yana's husband hurried there as well.
We arrived almost at the same time, you could say. We ran up the stairs. I heard someone was stuck in the elevator. We rushed home. But she wasn't there. I said, "Dimitro, it's fine. She must be in the elevator."
The woman couldn't even imagine that her daughter was no longer alive.
We went down to the second floor. Dimitro easily pulled open the first set of doors. The elevator doors weren't closed. And Yana was lying there. We rushed to her.
What the mother saw was shocking.
We tried to lift her, but we couldn't. We would have had to take the elevator apart to get her out. Dimitro said, "That's it. No pulse. My darling is gone." I ran to the neighbors and called an ambulance. I warmed her cold hands. Blood started coming out, and I wiped it away.
The mother held on to hope until the very last moment that her daughter could be saved and did everything possible for this. However, Yana was lying at the bottom of the elevator cabin, covered in blood and motionless.
The ambulance arrived, and the doctor said that Yana was already dead.
Sofia, someone was with her in the entryway. A man. She wasn't alone. There was a man here.
Near the elevator doors, I saw a phantom, some kind of figure. A tall man in a sailor's cap.
A gray-haired man, well over 50.
He's grabbing her. Is this a scene from the past?
As it turned out, Yana wasn't just afraid of getting stuck in the elevator. There was something else, another reason she didn't want to step inside.
She was about 14 or 15. Who was this man? Why was she so afraid?
When she was that age, she got into an elevator, and some man started harassing her.
He tried to rape her in the very same elevator where she later died. He was drunk or something and started harassing her, but thank God she ran out quickly. Of course, she was terrified after that and took the stairs more often.
So, for her family and friends, it remains a mystery. What made Yana step into the elevator that dreadful day?
There are no coincidences.
There's a phantom standing by her mother, one that could have caused harm.
Look, there was a man.
He was in the building.
He's too young, just a boy.
For the psychics, this isn't the first time they've seen the phantom of a young man. Who is he? And how is he connected to Yana's death? Could he be the same one they've been sensing since the start of the investigation?
A man is approaching me, a man I love deeply. He's showing me that this death is because of me. It's retribution. There was a line she crossed. Life was meant to go on. You understand?
What line did Yana cross? What could a 20-year-old girl have done to deserve this?
Have you ever heard cups clinking or something beeping?
She had a piggy bank, a stuffed toy, right here, in this room. When you drop a coin in, it talks. And at night, I would wake up to the sound of it talking.
Your daughter is sitting to your left.
Here,
I gave up my seat. She made me move.
I hope she forgives me for not protecting her. For not touching her belly.
You loved her and she still loves you.
A young man. Here,
The clairvoyant suddenly ran up the stairs without explaining anything.
he called me. The spirit of a man in a Marine uniform flew through me and rushed upward. I ran after him.
Incredible. But who is this man in uniform?
The man's spirit slipped away. He got scared. But Yana's spirit also disappeared along with him. How could we find out what really happened in that ill-fated elevator?
After going back downstairs, the clairvoyants worked in silence for a long time.
A man with hands covered in oil, in chains, a man pressing buttons. This is an accusation or suspicion or his guilt.
It turned out that on the day the tragedy happened, an electrician was in the building.
He had called for the same elevator in which Yana died, but it never arrived. Yana was inside.
As it turned out, the residents of the building had been complaining about this elevator for a long time.
You press the 5th floor, for example, and it takes you to the 12th. It works for 3 days. 2 or 4 days off.
As a result, a new elevator was installed in the building.
A new elevator, beautiful, all fancy. But from the very first days, it didn't work properly. And later it turned out that they had assembled it from old elevator parts, but passed it off as new. That's all.
And when the elevator broke down again, a mechanic was called.
But the mechanic couldn't start working because someone was stuck in the elevator, which prevented the cabin from being called.
That person was Yana, and by that time, she was already dead.
Something lured her out of the apartment. Some otherworldly force led her straight to death.
Why did this happen?
Are you ready?
I am ready for anything.
A murdered child. He was supposed to live at a very late term. This was between 4 and 6 months.
Yes. When my first husband died, I was pregnant.
I felt that the dying man deeply wanted this child. And it turns out that his wife went against his will.
He was in the 4th stage of cancer, and I simply had no other choice.
Olha realized that she wouldn't be able to raise the child alone and decided to have an abortion. She made this choice when the fetus was almost 5 months old.
It was a huge risk. But I had no other way out because my husband was bedridden, dying.
I never like to accuse people of anything, but here I can say, when blood is shed in a family, it is paid for with blood. One child was killed, another was born. And it always goes like this.
I understand everything.
At that moment, I saw the spirit of the sailor again. He was swinging a rope and shouting, "I took them." She wanted to be with me so badly. Now her wish has come true.
Who is this man? This is from youth, an unrequited love, deliberately consumed poison.
A man who drank poison? It seems Olha has no idea who this could be.
I've never heard of anything like that.
I felt that there were feelings between Yana and this man, but a long time ago, before her husband. Then they broke up. But why was this spirit so deeply hurt?
Olha couldn't figure out who it was, but we found someone who knows about this man. And what we heard was shocking.
Yana had a boyfriend. He was often away on trips. He was a sailor, and she was always afraid he would cheat on her. We would do fortune-telling about him, cast love spells. I have a fortune-telling book, and there was a spell in it, so we kept binding him to her. Very often.
That's why this spirit had a rope in his hands, a love spell. She bound him on an energetic level. That is extremely dangerous. Even if the bewitched person dies, the spell remains, and the deceased can pull the living into the afterlife.
What happened to the sailor whom Yana had loved in her youth remains unknown. Whether Yana's death was truly mystical, as the clairvoyants believe, no one can say for sure. But there is one intriguing detail. After her death, her friend had a strange dream. Yana appeared to her in a wedding dress and said she was getting married.
Yana appeared in my dream and said, "I want a ring." I called Aunt Olha and told her that it needed to be taken to the grave, and when they brought the ring there, that was it. The dream stopped.
For her mother, it's unbearable to accept such a tragic loss of her pregnant daughter. She will never see her again. A horrendous triple murder and an aggressive poltergeist. Don't miss a shocking investigation by the psychics. A child's ghost will come to unveil all the mysteries. In this episode, the psychics embark on an investigation into a series of enigmatic demises within a Ukrainian family. First, we received a letter from 34-year-old Serhiy Degtyaryov. The man had had a dream of his deceased father, showing him 6 graves, one of which bore a plaque with Serhiy's name. He feared for his life and decided to ask us for help. But when our journalists called Serhiy, his sister Yulia picked up the phone and told them terrible news. Her brother was dead.
He was young. He never had any health problems. He simply fell while walking, and that was it.
One morning, Serhiy felt unwell on his way to work.
He fell, and his partner, who was with him, raised him to his feet. But then he realized something was very wrong and started calling out. People came running and called an ambulance.
The man was dead a few minutes after. His heart stopped abruptly. His family can't understand how it was possible. Several days before his death, Serhiy had undergone a comprehensive medical examination because he'd been terrified by the nightmares about his death. The checkup revealed no indications that could pose a threat to his well-being. And now, Yulia is having the same nightmares that Serhiy had before he died.
I saw the 6 graves. I ran around the cemetery from one grave to another, and I had a panic attack.
In her nightmare, Serhiy was digging another grave next to his, and Yulia saw her own name on the tombstone.
He was standing and digging it, and I said, "Serhiy, what are you doing?" And he said, "Follow me."
Yulia Degtyaryova is 32. She works at a grocery store, and she's raising her 7-year-old daughter, Alexandra, all by herself. The girl's father abandoned them long ago and doesn't care about his daughter. So if something happens to Yulia, there'll be nobody to care for the girl. And this is her greatest fear as a mother.
2 days ago, my daughter asked me, "Mom, what if you die?" She was sitting and crying.
The psychics are the woman's only hope. Our strongest clairvoyants, Kayal Alekperov and Rubina Tsibulska, agreed to help her.
I saw a room with fair walls, and in it, there were chairs arranged in a circle, and a boy was standing in the middle of the circle. He was pointing at the chairs and saying, "The one who sits down last will die."
My sacred book is speaking some riddles. The angel became the demon. When you find the grave, dig deeper. What could it mean?
Hello.
Hello.
I fear for my and my daughter's lives.
Did your brother live here?
Yes. He was my elder brother.
I feel that your brother's death wasn't an accident.
I felt your father. He felt cold and and the heart stopped, like he froze to death.
My father died walking home from work. He was found in a windbreak. He looked like he had frozen under a tree. I don't feel well.
Even though her father died many years ago, Yulia still finds it hard to speak of it. Her father, Ivan, was only 45. But to this day, Yulia can't understand how it happened. The temperatures in October weren't freezing, and her father was a healthy man in his prime.
Did you all live here? Rubina, I have a strong feeling this house is radiating negative energy. Have you ever found something strange on its grounds?
Yes, once.
Wait. Your father's spirit is pointing at this spot on the wall. Was there a door here? Was the thing you found hidden here?
Yes, there used to be a door here, and above the door there was a little wreath. It was made of flowers, but it had threads and needles inside.
I feel a tragedy occurred after it. You lost somebody else.
You lost a child.
And not one, but 2 children. They looked alike. Were they twins?
Yes, I lost them both.
You see your family in your dreams. They're trying to warn you about something, but I can't tell what it is.
Yulia, I'd like to go inside.
Yes, yes.
The clairvoyant tunes into the energy of the house. Meanwhile, Kayal Alekperov continues working outside.
My book says you didn't find all the charms. There's a source of powerful negative energy nearby. It's somewhere here. Can you bring me a chair and a knife? It's dangerous to hold it with your bare hands. Look!
My God, what is this? A needle? I see a needle.
There are 3 of them.
What does it mean?
3 needles stand for 3 deaths. This is why your children died. And you could die too. This charm was planted on you to end your family life. But it's directed at you specifically, not your family. Can you please give me your hand? I see 2 women. They hide something in that wall and then run away quickly. They envied you for some reason. We must neutralize this negative energy as soon as possible.
Laughter. Laughter.
While I was carrying out the ritual, I had a feeling that something bad was happening to Rubina. It was like some supernatural force was influencing her. My colleague needed help, but I couldn't interrupt the ritual.
Coincidence or not, no sooner had the psychic finished the ritual to neutralize the charm. Then the clouds parted, and the sun shone.
Kayal, I don't feel well.
What is this?
Like God.
What happened? Tell me.
First, I heard a child's laughter in this room. But when I approached the mirror, I heard sorrowful weeping. A child of 2 or 3 was crying bitterly, asking for help.
Yulia is indeed in grave danger. The answer is where the triangle of death is. It's a place where the mother died.
Yulia's mother's name was Natalia. After her husband died, she took her children and moved to a town. When Serhiy and Yulia grew up, they returned to the village and settled at their father's house. However, their mother stayed in the town.
Mom lived there during her final years.
We must go there.
But what death triangle does Kayal Alekperov see? And what does it have to do with Yulia and the deaths in her family? By the time the psychics arrive at the house of Yulia's mother, it's grown dark. The news of the psychic's arrival quickly spread among the locals. People who knew and loved Natalia gather around her yard.
The energy is so overwhelming.
3 people were murdered here. I feel 2 of them are your bloodline, unlike the 3rd one.
Yes. I was here. They were all found in this room.
I see a large pool of blood here. It's huge.
This is where the triangle of death my book mention was. The triangle was made of your relatives' bodies.
Mom was lying here and the girl was a little further away, while my brother was here.
It's so awful. The people were drowning in blood.
Yes, I saw it all.
The tragic murder caused a stir throughout the nation. Yulia's mother, her younger brother, Alexander, who was 17, and his girlfriend, Dasha, were murdered in this house. The tragedy happened in the evening when the family was at home.
Natalia was on the bed. The shot hit her arm, and he murdered the children in the room.
While the murderer was reloading his rifle, the woman crawled up to the children, but unfortunately, she was too late to save them. The maniac shot his shotgun 9 times and escaped. The neighbor found the bodies the next morning and called the police.
When I broke down the door and saw it, my hair crawled on my head. Natalia was lying there and her arm looked like it had been chopped with an axe. And her son was opposite her, and he had this huge hole in his chest. It was a terrifying picture.
I feel your brother holding the girl by the hand.
She seems to be his fiancée.
They were buried as an engaged couple.
They loved each other a lot.
It was the first love for both, and it was very sincere.
They could have been saved.
Before he was shot to death, my brother called an ambulance and said they were wounded.
This is the recording of the wounded boy's call to the hospital. These are Yulia's brother's last words.
Hello, emergency medical service.
We're wounded.
What kind of the wound?
A gun wound. 37 First Vinohradna Street.
Wait a minute.
Please call the police.
Just a moment. Wait, please, the address again? First.
Alexander died a few minutes later. The phone operator who accepted the call is said to have resigned, unable to bear the shock. She simply couldn't go on working there.
I feel you. 2 were supposed to be here.
I can't. It's actually true. I was sent on vacation.
Yulia was saved by a lucky coincidence. Back then, she lived in this house with her mother and brother. But just before the tragedy, she was sent on an unscheduled vacation, and so she took her daughter and went to the village.
The man who lived here murdered them.
The man lived with Natalia, and their relationship went sour. The victim told him he was a parasite in her family, and he got mad.
Yulia's mother had lived with her murderer for 8 years. Together, they were building a new house, and when Natalia was diagnosed with breast cancer, the man helped her beat it. On the surface, they gave the impression of a perfect family. Nobody knows what exactly happened to date. There was no alcohol in the murderer's blood. Nobody can understand what made him commit the awful crime.
A demon took possession of him.
I feel the murderer is in prison.
The man hid in his hometown for several days after the murder. When he was arrested, he explained that he'd done it because he'd felt humiliated.
I don't remember who exactly and how many times I shot. When I came to my senses, I saw the 3 bodies.
This is the reenactment of the murder. The cold-blooded murderer is crying.
Now I realize it, but then I didn't. I felt like in a fog. I didn't realize what I was doing. My brain wasn't working.
His guilt was proven and he was sentenced to life in prison.
But it didn't make Yulia feel any better. She lost all of her family, and now she's in danger herself.
Do you hear it? What is this? What is this?
A woman's spirit. This is your mother. She's holding a little boy in her arms, and he's holding a toy.
Kayal. This is the boy who played with me, showing me the chairs and saying, "The last one to sit down will die."
This boy was the angel who turned into the demon that took possession of the man. For some reason, he's avenging your family. But for what?
The cards are showing me how the boy died. He fell from a windowsill. His head cracked. Your mother felt guilty, but she held this secret to herself.
The only person who knew about it was your mother's friend.
Our journalists found the woman. Her name is Taisia. She kept her friend's secret for many years.
Oleksiy, Natalia's second son, died. It was before Yulia was born. He fell from the windowsill and hit his head on the radiator. There was a dislocation in his skull.
Yulia has never heard of this tragedy. Her parents didn't want to traumatize the other children, and so they never told them of the little Oleksiy's death.
We must find out why this little angel, your brother, turned into the demon, and why he's seeking revenge on your family.
What happened?
I heard someone knock on the window pane, and it cracked. But it seems intact.
He's giving us a sign.
Does the child want us to go somewhere? Do you remember the cue from my book? When you find the grave, dig deeper. We must find his grave fast.
I don't even know where it could be.
We must find it, or else the deaths won't stop.
The most interesting thing is that nobody knows where his grave is. Nobody ever visited the boy's grave at all.
The village has two cemeteries. One is old, and the other is new. The latter appeared 10 years ago, so the psychics head for the old one.
Rubina, we must split and find the boy's grave. It's not it. Nor is this one.
Checking almost the entire cemetery took the psychics and crew a few hours. However, they failed to find where Yulia's little brother is buried.
I have a feeling of something calling me that way. This is your brother's spirit. Hurry up. That's it. The spirit has hidden.
Is he gone? We have to search.
He's a child, so he's playing with us. But I see him sitting on that grave.
Who is this?
Who is this man?
The boy's spirit says, I was buried here.
When I read the plaque on the tombstone, I couldn't understand anything. What did that adult man have to do with the little boy?
Rubina, do you remember my book told me to dig deeper when we find the grave? Your little brother's spirit is crying, saying it used to be his grave, but you didn't visit him, and you forgot him. And eventually, his grave was unearthed, and this man was buried in it.
If a grave has been neglected for, say, 20 years, and its wooden cross got rotten, but the plot remains, and they can bury someone else on top.
Your little brother's bones were ground with something made of steel, like a spade. And while they were doing it, his soul was suffering terribly. He hurt badly. This is when the angel became the demon.
And his anger hit Yulia's family like a landslide. He started taking revenge after that. And your father was taken away first.
Yes.
The following year.
The child's spirit is telling me he also had his revenge on the man who ground his bones with the spade.
He was hit by a car. I've worked here for 2 years, but it was before I came here. He told me he found the skull and crushed the bones.
What do I do?
You must never forget your brother.
Pray for him. Thus, your brother's soul will find peace, and he'll stop taking revenge. And we should also carry out the ritual.
To block the way and calm down his soul.
But the ritual isn't carried out at a cemetery. Let's go.
While the clairvoyants were searching for Yulia's brother's grave, people gathered in front of the cemetery gate.
Yulia, hold it.
We've prayed for you. Nothing's going to bother your family anymore.
Thank you so much. It was like a load off my shoulders. I couldn't even imagine I had a brother born before me, that he died so tragically, and above all, that he could do harm to my family, taking them away one by one.
A poor woman lost her 4 children. What otherworldly force has been taking away her babies? This investigation is going to shed light on a shocking family secret. What could be the connection between the poor mother and the cruel serial murderer? Answer the call for help from Olha Taran, a woman from a little Ukrainian village. She has lost her 3 daughters and son.
My happiness is buried here underground.
The woman lost her children at different times and under different circumstances: a fatal incident, a sudden death soon after birth, and 2 miscarriages at the final stages of pregnancy.
My darling, my dear baby.
Olha's elder daughter, Albina, died when she was 3.
A fire started in my house, and Albina was inside.
The firefighter said a spark fell out of a crack in the wood stove.
The fire started in the old house that Olha rented at the time. The woman had divorced Albina's father a few months before the tragedy. The man with whom she fell head over heels in love in her youth became a drunk and a tyrant. Soon after the wedding,
He beat me and he drank a lot. And at some point, I realized I couldn't bear it, and so I took my daughter and left him.
to pay for her modest accommodation, the single mother found a part-time job and the local farm and sent her daughter to the nursery.
She was so sweet. She was very bright. She was below 3, but she already knew how to rote a little and count to 10. She could write her name.
The woman still recalls the day when her daughter died in detail. It was very cold, and they had run out of firewood. Olha went to the barn for a few minutes and left Albina alone in the house. But when she came back, the house was shrouded in smoke.
The smoke was terrible. I wetted a piece of cloth to cover my face and went to find her, but I failed.
Panicked, Olha started shouting out, calling for help. The neighbors heard her and came running. The owner of the house arrived too. He dragged the girl out of the fire.
He dashed into the fire and brought her out. The house was in flames by that time.
The mother says her daughter was still breathing, but the girl died on her way to the hospital.
She suffocated. God, when the doctors told me, I didn't get it at first.
After the tragedy, Olha lost any sense of her life and withdrew into herself. Her mother feared she could commit suicide.
It was very hard for her. She only met another man 4 years later.
Olha married for the second time, and her greatest wish was to be a mother again, but she couldn't get pregnant, no matter what she did. Only after a year of medical procedures, prayers, and attending monasteries did she see a prophetic dream in which her deceased daughter visited her.
She sat down on the pillow on the bed next to me and stroked my head with her little hand 3 times. "Mom, Mom," and I woke up happy and certain I would finally be a mother.
Several weeks later, Olha learned she was pregnant. There was no limit to the family's joy.
We anticipated the baby. The doctors assured me everything was going to go well. We hoped and we expected.
Olga gave birth to a boy, but the baby lived only one day.
It was a boy. We called him Bogdan, which means God-given. The following day, I was going to feed him. I couldn't wait to do it, but then they told me he was gone.
Olha's doctor still can't understand why the boy died.
He was absolutely fine. The examinations revealed no issues at all.
After Bogdan's death, Olha attempted to become a mother twice more, but her two daughters, Polina and Nastya, died before they were even born. Just like with her son, the checkups during the pregnancy showed there was nothing to worry about.
During both pregnancies, I consulted with the doctors regularly and took all the vitamins. Everything was all right. But then I started bleeding suddenly. I have no idea what the cause was, nor do the doctors.
There must be a definite cause, but the official medicine failed to find it.
There must be a reason behind that.
Olha is astonished by her own thoughts, but she believes that Bogdan, Polina, and Nastya were taken away by her eldest daughter, Albina, who is furious with her mother for failing to save her from the fire.
Could she be offended and won't let me have other children?
And the worst of all, every time Albina visited her mother in dreams, it was always right before the woman lost her other babies.
I dreamed of my Albina. She was crying and asking me, "Mom, take me away from here." And I told her, "Baby, how can I take you? You're there and I'm here."
Olha's greatest wish is to be a mother, but the fear of losing another baby is killing the poor woman.
I can't look at her as a mother. I'm so sorry for her. She cries all the time and she's very upset. We need the psychics to help us.
Help us, please, to sort it all out.
Psychics Zhanna Shulakova and Olga Kalinova answered the poor woman's call for help. On their way there, Zhanna Shulakova receives a call from her worried colleague, Olena Kurilova.
I saw you in a nightmare. You were in the white van that we used to travel. Suddenly, a girl jumped under its wheels.
Oh, God.
I hear screaming and see you get out onto the road.
Do you mean it's a vision from the future?
I am positive it is.
I warned the driver immediately. But why would a young woman need to jump under the wheels of our van?
Half an hour later, our crew visits Olena Kurilova, who's tuning into the situation. Meanwhile, Zhanna Shulakova has reached her destination and sent her colleague a text.
I can't get rid of the anxiety. I need to work with my mirror.
At the same time, the psychics are tuning in to Olha's photo.
Olha thinks her eldest daughter, who died in a fire, is taking away her babies. But my cards say the reason is different. The card of the murder and the card of the mother.
Wait, could it be a murder? Not an accident?
No way! Is it possible that Olha is hiding something? Can she have any connection to her daughter's death? Simultaneously, Olena Kurilova begins describing a strange woman, and we find it really shocking.
I see her face. It's covered with some kind of veil. I only see her eyes. They're very expressive brown eyes. Wait. She's not alive. It's a spirit. And the next moment, I see her next to Zhanna.
This can't be, but at the same time, Zhanna Shulakova suddenly points at the window.
There's a young woman standing there. The dead girl's face was covered with some cloth. It reminded me of the way Oriental women cover their faces.
But who is this dead woman with a covered face? And what is Olga's relationship to this, whose children are dying?
She's saying something. I'm not the one everybody thinks I am. My son must know the truth.
It's so weird. The cards are saying the dead woman is connected with me. I don't get it. What do I have to do with all this?
But who is that dead woman? And why did her spirit come the moment Zhanna and I arrived in the village to help the poor mother who's losing her babies one by one?
Hello.
Hello.
I'd like to speak to your daughter. Can we summon her spirit?
Sure, yes.
We need some of her things or a photo of her.
I see her. She's standing next to you. She's reaching out for your hand.
I felt her. I felt her tiny hands and her presence.
I see Albina holding a teddy bear in her hands.
She had a favorite teddy. It said, "I love you," when you pressed on its tummy.
Olha says that after Albina's funeral, her daughter's favorite toy began turning on itself.
Once it repeated, "I love you," all night long. After that, I took it to her grave.
Albina says she didn't want to scare you. She only wanted to play with her toy.
Baby, I love you so much. Forgive me, please.
At that moment, my card showed me that Albina's death wasn't an accident. Somebody started the fire in which she died. But who was it?
I had a vision. When the fire started, somebody's spirit was next to the girl. The evil spirit provoked the fire in which your daughter died.
Your daughter has nothing to do with your baby's deaths.
Some spirit is taking them away.
Suddenly, I heard a female scream outside.
Clairvoyants quickly go out into the yard. What's going on?
The voice was coming from the old well, in Olha's yard. So, I ran there immediately. There I saw the young veiled woman. The young woman is standing there. She said, "You must tell the truth about my death." And then she unveiled her face. I saw blood. She'd been murdered.
Don't go there, Zhanna. The well is ancient. Don't go.
I didn't feel any necrotic energy from the well in the yard. So, it had to be the other well. But what did the veiled woman mean? She told me. The well became the grave for 11 women.
11 dead women in a well? What is that supposed to mean?
Olha, I feel you're somehow connected with that story.
Have you heard of the well where women are buried?
I don't know.
Zhanna, listen, could Olena Kurilova know something about it? She's local, all in all.
Olga and I are in the place where you come from. We felt a well in which many women are buried. They were all murdered.
Oh God. Yes, I know the well. It's in the town. And the 11 women are the victims of the cruel maniac. The man's name is Ruslan Kamarov. He was arrested in the early 2000s.
As it turned out, it was one of the most resonant criminal cases in Ukraine. The local law enforcers still remember it. Women began to disappear in the quiet resort town on the shores of the Azov Sea in 2000.
All of the victims were women. They were all of different ages, ranging from 40 to 20. All of them had different body shapes and hair colors.
Only 3 years after the first woman went missing, in February 2003, the police arrested Ruslan Kamarov, one of the cruelest maniacs in the history of Ukraine. They found the bodies of the 11 victims in the well in his yard. During his arrest, he explained that all of them were prostitutes.
He said that he considered them to be lesser people, claiming that he did society a favor by cleaning the world of their existence.
However, the law enforcers still do not know why the maniac began murdering and what made him launch the series of the terrible crimes.
We found out that the young woman whose spirit we kept seeing was among the victims of the serial killer. But what had it to do with Olha and her dead babies?
The cards are saying that Olha is connected to the maniac. Only when we know what it is, we can save Olha.
Olha. What can connect you to the serial killer?
I don't understand it. I have nothing to do with any murders.
Could the maniac know it? We had to ask him.
The cards say the answer is within a family. I don't understand what family. Olha's or the murderers? Or could they possibly be related?
It turned out that Ruslan Komarov is serving his sentence at a penal colony nearby. Our journalists arranged the interview with the murderer to find out about his family.
Tell me, who is your father?
My father was from Almaty.
Do you mean Kazakhstan?
Yes.
Do you remember him?
I don't.
The maniac shared little about his father, but we later found his maternal aunt-cousin, Lydia. She told us that Ruslan Komarov's father left his family when his son was still an infant.
He essentially had no father. Well, he had him, but the man left them. He couldn't settle down here, and he went to Kazakhstan.
Tell us about your mother. Who is she?
My mom, Zhanna, worked at the place called Crystal. I loved her.
Where is your mother now? What happened?
She jumped under a train and killed herself. It's hard for me to remember it. It hurts me to think Zhanna's gone. I was 13 when she did it.
Do you know why your mother committed suicide?
Her surrounding. It is to blame for it. Her surrounding resulted in her suicide, and mine, you see it for yourself.
Did your mother live a riotous life?
She worked where lechery happened. She was an administrator at the restaurant.
And she became a prostitute too, right?
She lost her mind with the lechery in this life.
Is this why you killed prostitutes?
I don't remember, but should I? They're of no value to me. They're rubbish. Why should I even think of them?
Later, Ruslan Komarov's relative told us that after his mother divorced her husband, for a while, she really was an administrator at a restaurant where prostitutes worked. But she lacked money, so she also became a prostitute herself. And then she started drinking heavily to drown out her shame.
After his father left, his mother started drinking and living this life. It was so unpleasant to see.
Did the maniac start murdering prostitutes because he subconsciously thought they were guilty of his mother's death? Could he be retributing them for the death of his closest person by doing so? But what relation does it have to Olha?
What could be the connection between Olha and the cruel serial killer?
Watch the next episode to know the awful family secret. Why did Olha and her family hide the cruel murderer? Who is the woman the maniac loves? And what did he do out of love for her? The unbelievable investigation continues. What otherworldly force has taken away 4 children from a mother? The senses of psychics are amazing. Are the mother's children's deaths a revenge for her connection with the cold-blooded serial killer? The psychics arrived in a little village in southeastern Ukraine to help a poor woman who had lost her 4 children.
My happiness is buried here, underground.
Olha's children died at different times under different circumstances. Her 2 younger daughters died as unborn babies during the final stages of pregnancy, and her son died the next day after he was born, while Olha's eldest daughter, Albina, breathed smoke and suffocated when their house caught fire.
Olha thinks her eldest daughter is taking away her other babies, but the cards show us that the reason behind it is absolutely different. The card of the murder and the card of the mother.
The young woman, she said, "You must tell the truth about my death." she was murdered, the well became the grave for 11 women.
I know that well. The 11 women are the victims of the cruel maniac. The man's name is Ruslan Kamarov. He was arrested in the early 2000s. Something connects Olha and the serial killer. The cards say the answer is within a family.
Then I suddenly heard a woman related to Olha shouting out terrible words at her. I curse you.
This is what my mother-in-law told me. She hated me. It could be because I come from a poor family. She hated my daughter.
I feel that you and your husband were trying to divide your property, and it was another cause for a conflict with your mother-in-law.
I divorced my husband. When I arrived to take my TV, she said, "May it burn," and the fire started several days afterward.
This was the fire in which Olha lost her daughter, Albina.
The words of Olha's mother-in-law really seem to be a curse.
If her mother-in-law practices magic, she could send a murderous spirit and it's killing her children. Show me where that woman lives.
Meanwhile, Olena Kurilova is trying to figure out what links the poor mother and the violent maniac.
At that moment, the cards told me that the veiled woman, who is among the maniac's victims, will help me solve the mystery. And she's here.
This is astonishing. The moment the clairvoyant sensed the ghost's presence, the door of the cabinet opened.
Who are you? What is your name? She says so quietly. Alina, or is it Polina? I don't understand. She says, "You don't know me, but your mother remembers me."
This is insane. Did Olena Kurilova's mother really know one of the maniac's victims? The psychic immediately dials her mother, Olha.
Mom, a young woman's spirit visited me. She's a victim of the serial killer from our town. Do you remember him?
Yes, of course I remember him.
This woman says her name is either Polina or Alina. And she also says you used to know her.
I did know her. She was our neighbor, Polina Izvekova.
The maniac claimed he only killed prostitutes. Did she happen to be one?
No. Absolutely not. She was a good girl. She was kind, joyful, and very beautiful.
Polina Izvekova didn't even live up to her 20s. A young single mother, she left her drunkard husband, completed a degree in teaching, and devoted all her love and care to her son.
Ruslan Kamarov killed my sister, Polina. It was long ago, but I still feel the pain of the loss.
The sisters had no secrets from each other. Nina knew everything Polina did. As such, when her sister didn't answer the phone one evening, the elder sister got alarmed.
I ran to find her, sounding the alarm. The search lasted for over a week.
On the 9th day of the search, Nina received a call from the police, informing her that they'd found Polina's body.
All I could do was shout. I yelled at them, telling them it was a mistake.
The woman says she still can't understand why the maniac chose her sister specifically.
I simply want to know why it happened.
Nina can't calm down until now, because after the death of her sister, her little son was left an orphan.
He had fair hairs and blue eyes. He was a very calm boy.
Nina wanted to take custody of the boy, but the social service concluded that her financial situation and little apartment didn't meet the requirements for the adoption. Besides, Nina was pregnant at the time, and so the boy was adopted by strangers.
He was adopted. That's all I know.
But why did Ruslan Kamarov murder the young mother? And what does it have to do with Olha, who keeps losing her children? The journalists of our project try to find it out directly from the murderer.
Do you remember Polina Izvekova?
I do remember her. She had a very beautiful face. She was a great looker. She stuck to my soul.
What did you do to her?
I smashed half of her skull with brass knuckles.
Do you remember the other girls?
What kind of question is this? How could I remember them? I told you they were rubbish.
It's weird that the cruel maniac only remembers Polina among all his victims. And whenever he hears her name, he gets nervous and refuses to talk.
I really regret. My soul is on fire.
I have a feeling the maniac wasn't going to murder Polina. He met her long before he did it, and he knew she wasn't a prostitute. He had feelings for her because she resembled him of his mother. She was also a single mother with a son.
Later on, the victim's sister told us that Ruslan Komarov really had feelings for Polina. The woman says that 15 years ago, the man looked good and made a good impression.
Yes, I saw him. He always wore a black coat, you know, one of those long leather coats that were trendy back then. So, he had one.
And after a few weeks of communication with Ruslan, the young mother went on a date with him, after which she disappeared.
Her family knew where she went and with whom she was. After he murdered Polina Izvekova, Ruslan Komarov turned himself in.
But why did the serial killer choose to confess everything to the police so abruptly? Did his consciousness wake up all of a sudden? He didn't just confess what he did, but he also showed the police officers the well in which Polina's body was. She was wrapped in a bedsheet.
So this is why Polina's spirit showed herself to Zhanna and me with her face covered. The maniac wrapped her body in the cloth.
But the most terrible thing happened after the law enforcers took the victim's body out of the well. What they saw in there struck them numb. The well in an ordinary yard contained the remains of 10 more women.
We were shocked. It turned out that the yard with the well that had become the grave for the 11 women was right by the hotel where Yana and I stayed.
I felt that the maniac had decided to turn himself in because he had been tormented by guilt. He'd loved Polina, but I couldn't get why he'd murdered her. And most importantly, what did Olha, who we were trying to save, have to do with this story?
Meanwhile, the investigation brings the psychics to the home of Natalia, Olha's former mother-in-law.
Natalia, tell us, why did you curse your daughter-in-law?
She made it all up.
I'm telling the truth. I swear to God, I'm not lying.
And I swear I didn't wish you anything bad.
I'll curse your bones so you'll never be happy, you said. And I was holding my daughter in my arms at that moment.
Why did you tell her such awful things?
She told me she was divorcing my son. For me, it came as an unpleasant surprise.
Do you know that your words could possibly become the reason why Olha lost her children?
Olha, fear God.
I'm standing in front of him. And I'm not lying. I'm telling the truth. I don't need to lie. Look. Just look at this.
Enough. I don't want it anymore.
The woman goes back into her house. But the psychics stay by the gate and aren't going to go anywhere.
Natalia, we're not leaving until we know for sure whether you're connected to the deaths of Olha's children or not.
It seems that Olha's mother-in-law sees that the clairvoyance won't leave, so she comes back. Yet she's not alone this time. A man who didn't introduce himself accompanies her.
Could I have your hand for a second?
Of course.
I felt that Olha's mother-in-law indeed felt guilty, but not for her granddaughter's death. You feel remorse. Is it because you offended Olha? You defended your son, who wronged her, and you know it perfectly.
Sure.
However, it's not your guilt that Olha's children are dying. You have nothing to do with it. I really want you and Olha to finally reconcile.
Olha, please don't bear a grudge against me.
It's all right. It turned out my mother-in-law wasn't guilty. I even felt sorry for her, and I was embarrassed because I'd been wrong.
But if it's not the mother's-in-law curse, then why does Olha keep losing her children? And what could possibly be the link between the poor mother and the cruel serial killer?
Polina says that before she died, she was at the murderer's home and saw bloodstains on its walls. The maniac noticed her scared gaze and realized she knew who he was. Polina tried to leave, but it was too late. When I asked Polina's ghost about the connection between the maniac and Olha, she said, "The answer is in Olha's house. Her family knows everything."
When we set off to Olha's house, we felt a massive thump like somebody hit the windshield at full speed. God, can we get out?
It was Polina's spirit. She was standing in the middle of the road, weeping. So it was her who Olena Kurilova had seen before the investigation. The woman's spirit is trying to draw our attention, but I can't get what we must do to help her.
And then the woman's spirit said, "Tell my son that I love him." The murderer got me because I hadn't seen the maniac in him. I thought he was a regular man who would be a father for my child.
And Polina said that the beast's family saw the bloodstains on the walls of his house. They knew he'd done something terribly wrong. I was shocked. Did the maniac's family cover up his crime?
As it turned out, Komarov's aunt has 2 sons. The murderer was in a good relationship with them. According to the locals, both men often visited the maniac's house, where the police later found the horrible bloodstains. The family of the murderer couldn't have missed them.
And then I was struck, a family hiding the murderer. This is what connects Olha to the maniac.
According to our feelings, Olha's family also covered up a murderer's terrible crime. Olha, we need to talk to your family.
The clairvoyants arrive at Olha's house. Her mother and sister, Lilia, are already waiting for them there.
Wait. I feel something horrendous happened in this corridor. Your family is covering up some sort of crime. Why are you silent?
We fear, all right?
I see an elderly woman's spirit. She has fair hair, high forehead, and brown eyes.
Grandma.
She looks a lot like you, Olha.
Yes, people often tell me I'm like Grandma Halia.
Your grandmother didn't die naturally.
She died at the hospital after a surgery.
Why was she taken there? No, I'm not going to tell this in front of the cameras.
Your grandmother says she died at the hands of her own son. And you all covered up his crime.
It was your brother, wasn't it?
My youngest brother.
Tamara's brother's name is Sviatoslav. The woman says he had problems with the law back when he was a teenager, and he was even in prison.
Once he cut and stole cables to take them to the recycling center, and then he hit a boy on the motorbike. He was sentenced and did his time in prison.
Later on, Tamara told our journalists that, having served his sentence, her brother returned home and committed a crime that is hard to comprehend. The man attacked his mother.
He was drunk. He started kicking and punching her so badly that she was all bruised. The left side of her body got paralyzed. We took her to the hospital.
She spent some time at the hospital, but she eventually died. It was terrible.
After the man beat up his own mother, he immediately told his sister and nieces about that.
The man's families knew about the horrific thing and he'd done, but they decided to cover up his crime.
We didn't tell the doctors the truth. We said she'd fallen from a ladder.
How can you live with that? Why didn't you tell the truth at the hospital?
Because he'll arrive the next day and that will be it. There will be no me or her. He'll kill us all, you see.
Doesn't it bother you that he's dangerous and can hurt other people? Or that by doing what you did, You betrayed your closest person? Tamara, your mother's spirit is sure the family of traitors and murderers can't survive. This is the reason you, Olha, lost your daughters and son. All children in your family are under threat. And your brother has buried his own child. Am I right?
It also happened to him that his child died.
You also have a child, a daughter, and you live in constant fear.
I simply fear for my child. I worry about her a lot. What do we do? Help us, please.
You need to repent for what you did before your grandmother's spirit. I'll try to summon her spirit, but I'm not sure if she wishes to listen to you. I began summoning the woman from the other world, and soon enough I felt her presence.
Grandma, forgive us, please.
Mom, forgive us for concealing it. Forgive us all.
Forgive me, please.
Your grandmother says she forgives you. Now I'm going to let her soul go. She won't take away children in your family anymore.
I'm a lot better now. It feels like the beginning of my life, like I was born again.
What an incredible story.